Chrisean Rock is making it clear that when it comes to her son, there are certain boundaries she is not willing to compromise on. A clip circulating online shows Chrisean with her young son when another woman appears to reach toward the child.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Oh. Hey. Hi. Hi, Junior.
Go ahead, you talk, bro.
My bad. I don't really let.
Oh, okay. My bad. I feel you. But nice to meet you, then.
No, nice to meet you too. What's your name?
Nina.
I like your Jesus pieces. Thank you. It's cute. Yeah.
I like you. I'm really a fan of you. Like, all you side. Like,
not a fan, supporter. Appreciate it.
Right?
Yeah.
Whatever. Same thing.
No, I appreciate it.
You about to box here?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Like, we can watch you?
No, it's about to be a closed gym.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I grew up here, so.
For real?
Yeah.
Where we at?
We in Wilmington, Delaware.
Oh, okay.
The west center city area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
yeah, we just came from Baltimore.
I go up here. That's my Umar. Let me get her out. Everybody else, I'm like looking at him like, is she up there? He like, he didn't really want to tell me. I'm following up on. Like, I'm about to go see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. That was sweet.
I'm so irritated.
How old are you?
My phone is dead.
Oh, you wanted a picture?
Yeah, I want a picture.
You don't look 28.
I don't. No. I like a baby.
Yeah.
You do too. What the hell?
I know. That's good.
Can I get a picture with you?
Of course.
I'm gonna see if Omar will do.
Okay. Lock that door so we can focus.
He told her that she was up here. She just said it.
Who?
The coach.
Tell that coach calm down. Why you looking like that? Y'all can tell with me just be like, what's going on? I'm saying the same thing. I'm playing it off real cool.
Chrisean immediately reacts and stops the interaction, making it obvious that she was not comfortable with a stranger getting that close to her son. What stands out to me about this moment is how quickly the situation changed. The woman appears to approach the child casually, but Chrisean's reaction shows that what may look harmless to one person can feel completely different to a parent. When you are dealing with a young child, especially one who is constantly around cameras, social media, and unfamiliar people, a parent can become extremely protective about who gets access to them. The clip does not show the entire backstory between Chrisean and the woman, so I would not assume that the woman had bad intentions. At the same time, Chrisean clearly communicated that she did not want the woman touching her son. That boundary is the part of the moment that cannot really be missed. For me, this is less about whether the woman meant anything by reaching toward the child and more about respecting a parent's decision. You do not have to believe someone is dangerous before deciding that you do not want them touching your child. A parent can simply say no. A parent can step in. A parent can decide who is allowed to hold, touch, or interact closely with their child. And that is exactly why Chrisean's reaction is getting so much attention. She did not appear interested in debating the situation for a long period of time. She saw what was happening and intervened. That tells me her priority in that moment was making sure her son stayed within the boundaries she was comfortable with. Her son, Chrisean Jesus Porter, has been in the public eye since birth because of the attention surrounding his parents, Chrisean Rock and Blueface. That makes situations like this even more complicated. This is not a child growing up completely away from cameras. People recognize him because of his parents, and that means strangers may naturally feel familiar with him even though he does not know them personally. But being recognizable does not mean everyone automatically has permission to touch him. That distinction is important. Social media can make celebrities and their children feel like they are part of everyone's everyday life. People watch their videos, follow their updates, and see their families online. After a while, that familiarity can create the impression that there is a personal relationship when there really is not one. Chrisean's reaction is a reminder that online familiarity and real-life permission are two different things. The setting matters too. In a crowded environment, it can be difficult for a parent to know everyone's intentions. Someone reaching toward a baby may simply want to say hello or show affection, but the parent does not have to accept that interaction. Chrisean's reaction appears immediate. When you are responsible for a child, you cannot always wait until something becomes uncomfortable before you respond. Sometimes you react the moment you notice a boundary being crossed. At the same time, I would not take this clip as proof that Chrisean believes every person around her son is a threat. That would be going too far. The footage only gives us a short moment. What it does show is that she wanted control over the interaction and she made that clear. And honestly, that is a reasonable distinction. Protecting your child does not always mean assuming the worst about everybody. Sometimes it simply means being selective. You can understand that someone meant no harm while still deciding that they should not touch your child. This is especially relevant for Chrisean because her personal life has been under intense public attention for years. Her relationship with Blueface, their son, and the different situations surrounding their family have all played out publicly. Because so much of her life is visible, there is a natural temptation for people to feel entitled to comment on or participate in every part of it. But motherhood creates a different responsibility. Chrisean is not only making decisions for herself anymore. She is also making decisions for a child who cannot make those decisions for himself. That means she may react more strongly to certain situations than she would if someone were simply approaching her. The important part is that the interaction ended without becoming something much bigger. Chrisean made her boundary known, and the moment moved on. There does not always need to be a huge confrontation. A simple stop can be enough. A simple step back can be enough. A simple understanding that the parent has the final say can be enough. I would also be careful about turning this clip into a story about the woman being a bad person. The video does not establish that. It shows a woman approaching a child and Chrisean stopping the interaction. What we can talk about is the boundary. When it comes to children, consent and personal space matter. Adults understand that someone cannot just walk up and touch them without permission, and children deserve that same respect. Babies and young children cannot always communicate their comfort level clearly, so their parents have to make those decisions for them. Chrisean's response also shows how quickly a parent can switch from being relaxed to being protective. 1 second, everything can appear normal. The next second, someone gets too close to the child, and the parent's attention immediately shifts. That is probably the biggest takeaway from this entire situation. Do not assume that because a child looks adorable, you have permission to touch them. Do not assume that because you have seen the child online, you know the family personally. And do not assume that your intentions automatically matter more than the parent's comfort level. If the parent says no, the answer is no. For Chrisean, that boundary appears to be especially important when it involves her son. Whatever someone thinks about her personality, her past, or her relationship with Blueface, this particular moment is straightforward. She saw someone attempting to interact physically with her child, she was uncomfortable with it, and she stepped in. That does not automatically make the other person dangerous, and it does not require Chrisean to prove that they were dangerous before she could stop the interaction. Sometimes a parent is simply going to be protective.